Hey guys, what's going on? Year-rounder here, and today's just going to be a poker video. So yeah, I just a real quick intro. Yeah, after talking to a few people and thinking about it a little bit, I absolutely do want to do a water fast, but like this moment is not a great moment to start it, despite having a little bit of time. Yeah, I have some other stuff that I need to make sure is like secure and okay, and I should have enough like financial padding that I could like take a couple days off from working if I need to, if I'm too tired, and I just don't have that right now. So I guess my goal right now is to grind it out, try to eat a healthy enough diet so that I have the amount of energy I need to push myself to grind out some cash so that I've got a little bit of a cushion, and then I can go ahead and do that. So anyway, that's the update there. So I've that's not the first time that's happened where I've started a fast and just decided that it wasn't a good time. So the first couple days really are hard. Like I wasn't making that up when I said it yesterday. And that's like the toughest part to get over. So like you really need to have sort of like a little bit of support in place to get through those first few days, I think. And I just didn't have that. So it's not the end of the world. This has been an interesting session. I've just been like running crazy. I had a few sessions where I was running bad, and then this session I had a couple nice suck outs. So that was fun. And I've been going for, let me see how long this session's actually been going. So today I've been playing almost 2 hours. So I was going to wrap the session up. I figured towards the end of the session I would talk to you guys a little bit and do a video. So here we've got a gut shot. We're in position. I think we can probably just go ahead and bet. That king's not a great card. This guy checked really fast. Let's just check back and we'll look for the take the free shot at the 10. Obviously, I would expect this player to check his entire range on the turn. When he checks the river and misses the opportunity to bet, I don't think he's got a full house. So let's just get bet kind of big and make it look a little bit bluffy, and hopefully he'll call us with a jack if he thinks we're bluffing, because we would have bet a king on the turn. And then the 10 only makes sense for the hand we're actually really holding for that to be a good card. So we are going to just make a pot size 3-bet with ace queen. Call with 9-7 suited on table 4. So yeah, this session's been going all right. We've been running good. Last few sessions we ran bad, but that's okay. See if we can get into some interesting hands here to talk about. Oh, and then I need to get back out and drive this afternoon. And probably do a lot of driving this weekend. But one thing I want to start doing is really grinding some hands out. Even if it's not like, I think, so let me see how I feel about this. I'm going to say some stuff that I'm not sure exactly if I agree with what I'm about to say, but it's in my head, so I'll just say it. I think that so I'm not a perfectionist about most things. Like, I'm really not. However, I did discover when I first started making like my poker videos and things like that because it was like just me and just my own thing, and I took like so much ownership of it because it's just me, I became a little bit of a perfectionist with things like that. And I think that I sometimes fall back into that when dealing with poker related things. I'm gonna call here with the gut shot. We do have an ace. It's not the worst spot, so call one street in position. I think that's okay. But one thing is, I've been talking about having like focus and being really focused the whole time I play. And I agree with that, but I also know that, focus is sort of a finite resource. And if I want to only play during, times and for a length of time that I'm completely focused, I'm not going to be able to get in a lot of volume. And so I think that I need to sort of strike some balance with the amount of focus I put in and the amount of time I play, because I really do need to put in the volume. And if my not perfectly focused game can't beat 50 no limit, then I need to start doing something else. My default game should be a winning game. Now, it's not going to be like the best possible win rate, but it should still win. And that's kind of important because if I grind and I grind for a week, 8 hours a day, I would say like 9 out of 10 weeks I better be up. I better be up after 40 hours of grinding. There just shouldn't be that many swings. And maybe there are. I could actually like do the math on that and see what that looks like based on hands per hour. Actually, that's a fun little exercise. Let's do that. So we are going to say that we are a 10 BB per 100 winner. Now, we might not be quite that high, but I think at 50 no limit, that should be what I'm going for, right? And we'll say that we're playing 6 max, so our variance, our standard deviation we'll put at 100. And I can look at this in Poker Tracker if I go to all dates. Now, I don't have a ton of data, but I can. There's no like default reports, huh? This guy is like opening pretty wide. I guess we should start 3-betting him to see if he's like folding or calling 2-3 bets. I thought it showed standard deviation on this. I don't see any deviation stats. So that guy called and then this guy folded, and that's I'm not sure if we should have bet that flop or not. It looks pretty bad. We really don't have much going. Show all stats. Yeah, I don't see standard deviation as one of the stats we can put on here. I know I've seen it before, though. So that's interesting. Here we go. Standard deviation. So 90, oops, shit. I need to turn the volume up a little bit so I hear the beeps, sorry. So my standard deviation looks like it's about 94, which is about what I would expect. So we'll go ahead and just put that in for fun, because it's just a little lower than average. or what, I had. So we'll put what our actual standard deviation looks like. Now, hands per hour, we can say, it depends on the session length, but I think about 250 hands an hour is reasonable. So let me see. It looks like our average hands per hour is like 236. But again, if we were playing like even just 2 4-hour blocks, most of my sessions are an hour or like an hour and a half. Like 2 hours is like some of the longer sessions I play. So if I am going to grind, I need to play, like log on, play 4 hours, take lunch, play 4 more hours. Or at least, something close to that. So we'll say in a 4-hour block, like I'll go with my longest block, which is 2 hours and 31 minutes. My hands per hour is 268. So quite a bit higher than what I'm looking at here, which is 236. So just to be kind of conservative, let's say 250 or yeah, there's some longer sessions here that are only at 200. So let's say 250 to be conservative. And I should probably call this. This guy's got a short stack, so really I don't mind calling off my whole stack with even a weak top pair. Now that it's 2 pair, it's obviously he either has a set or not, so we're not too worried. Cool, so that was a good turn for us. Okay, so yeah, we'll say 250 hands an hour. Now, at I actually don't play 4s under the gun anymore. So 250 times 40 is 10,000 hands. Wow, that worked out nicely. Okay, so if we do a 10,000 hand simulation right now, based on our stats, we can actually just sort of look at mathematically if, darn it, sorry guys. I'll post the small blind. Then we can kind of see what it should look like. And to give you guys an idea here, it looks like probability of loss after 10,000 hands is 14.3%. So that means that even if we're a 10 VB per 100 like crusher and we play 40 hours a week, we will win 85% of the time, right? A tiny bit more than 85%. So we should have, 85% winning weeks, which is like, that's not that high, especially if you play 40 hours and you're down. Like if you play 40 hours of poker and you've lost money, it's going to be very frustrating and very hard to not think that there's something wrong, that you're playing bad, that something's going wrong. It's just going to be real tough to not get down on yourself. So that's why I think that, getting some more volume in is really important for me, because without that volume, it's just going to be really hard to stay confident with how much variance there is in poker. And so even if I'm not playing my absolute, focused A game, I think it is actually more important, or it might be. I don't know. Maybe I'll do this and decide it's not more important. But I think it might be more important to, get that volume in so I can kind of confirm. Essentially how much I can win and how good I am and all of that, because it just, it needs so, it needs a large sample size, basically. See if we can re-steal here. This guy's like opening, appears to be very aggressive on the button. So if we can 3-bet, and he's betting 125, so he's trying to steal for cheap. So we might throw in some light 3-bets just to exploit the fact that he may be opening a little too aggressively on the button. He's over 26 hands, he's stealing 88%. So Even if a player knows that they're supposed to steal a lot on the button, that's like step one. Like step one is like, I should open really wide on the button. And then as you're sort of like developing as a player and you learn that you should open really wide on the button, you know, occasionally somebody will start 3-betting you a lot when you're on the button. And then you're like, crap, I don't really like, you know, you might even in theory know how to react to that, but you're not very practiced with it. And so then you kind of have to go back and be like, okay, well, like now I'm getting 3-bet a lot when I'm on the button. Now I got to really figure out how to react to the 3-bets. And so as like players sort of develop, they learn in stages. And like the step one is open really wide on the button. And, you know, step two is like, okay, well now how do I defend if somebody isn't going to let me just steal all the time, you know? And then like, you know, step three is, you know, for that guy who's like, you know what I just did, who's like, all right, this guy's opening a little wide, I'm going to 3-bet. And then, you know, he starts 4-betting or whatever. It's like, crap, okay, now I got to really learn that spot and exactly how to defend properly against that. So it all kind of, you know, happens in stages. Like here, when I'm getting, you know, 3-bet from the big blind, and I have ace jack offsuit. It can kind of go either way here, but I'm gonna muck because I don't know enough about that guy. And I think ace jack off is a fold. Ace jack suited would be a call. Ace 5 suited might be a 4-bet. Although I really haven't started doing too much light 4-betting in this game. What are we doing here? What is going? I'm just gonna call with ace queen. Like I assume these guys are just gonna call behind, hopefully, but I don't really want to inflate the pot out of position with ace queen offsuit. This guy bets 50 cents. We'll call. We've turned 2 pair. Nice theme for the day. I'm gonna go ahead and just raise this up half pot against this min bet. People fold a lot when they're min betting. I think they also usually they do it pretty frequently with just like bad hands. Ooh, we got a heart draw. 7, 8, 9. We got a lot of outs. Okay, cool. Same thing. King Jack, we can definitely 3-bet. It's definitely strong enough for a 3-bet. Don't want to be calling with King Jack offsuit in the small blind, so it's a 3-bet or fold, and I think we want to, you know, be on the aggressive side. So what else here? So yeah, our expected winnings after like 1 week playing that much would be 1,000 big blinds, right? We played 10,000 hands, so we should win 1,000 big blinds, which would equate to what, $500 if it's 50 cents per big blind. So playing 40 hours of 50 NL at a 10 BB win rate at 250 hands an hour, we can say we should make about $500 a week, which isn't too bad. And I'm sure it would be much better if there was rake back, but anyway. So yeah, we should make about $500 a week, but obviously that's just it's gonna vary a lot. The minimum bankroll we should have to do that is 1324 big blinds to stay above a less than 5% risk of ruin. So what the heck is, so 1324 times 0.05 or 0.50 is $662. So we do have that bankroll, so that's good. We're playing a pretty safe bankroll limit. We'll just pot this, and I'll call with queen 10 suited on the button. So yeah, and I'm on poker. If you just Google poker variance calculator, I'm on pokerdope.com, poker variance calculator. It's a tool that I use all the time. It's pretty fun. And yeah, so it's like something that I reference a lot when I am talking to somebody and they ask me, oh, did you like make money today? And as you probably know, that's just like one of the most irritating questions you can get asked as a poker player is like, oh, are you up? Did you win? How much did you win? And like, you know, we all know, most of the people watching here know that like that's just a silly, like, you know, it's just not it's not a relevant question. It's almost never a relevant question when the question really should be, did you play well? Like, did you play well? You could even ask like, hey, did you run good? Did you run bad? Did you play well? So this is, I think, a pretty clear fold. We have top pair, and any 5, any 7 wins it. I mean, there are some bluffs he can have here, but this is one of those things where I just feel real stupid calling, and he just has like ace 5. Yeah, so I mean, it's also interesting to look at the percentage of times that you'll have downswings. So you'll have a 500 big blind downswing at 50 NL. So that's $250 downswings. I'm not sure what the percentage is. It says 40%. Occurrence rates for downswings extends the downswing stretches for a player. I don't know what the occurrence is. So you'll get I just don't understand what it says. You'll get a 300 BB downswing 49% of the time. Says for this analysis, a downswing is defined as any period where the current total winnings are below the maximum previous total winnings. Any downswing is considered to last until the total winnings at least equal the previous peak. The following tables are derived by a simulation with over 1 million hands. The first one shows how often the simulated player was in. The first one shows how often the simulated player. Sorry, let me not sit out. Priority 1 should be clicking the buttons. Was in the middle of a downswing of at least XBB. The second one, how often he was in a downswing which lasted X hands. So you will be in a 300. So it looks like that's saying that about half the time you're going to be in a 300 big blind downswing. That's just how much variance there is, right? Like and that makes sense to me. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Like half the time you're going to be looking at your database and you're going to be down 300 big blinds from where you previously were at. Why am I sitting out here? There we go. So that's a lot. That's a lot. So when someone's like, oh, are you winning or losing? Like, that's why it's annoying, because like half the time you're going to be losing, even though you're a 10 BB crusher and you didn't do anything wrong. And so that I think is a good indication of that. Also, you'll be on a downswing of, 5,000 hands 41% of the time. So 5,000 hands or longer 41% of the time. So you'll also have days where half the week or the entire week you're on a downswing. A 10,000 hand downswing occurs 27% of the time. Now one thing I'm confused about there is that in the previous thing it said that you'll only have a loss after 10,000 hands 14% of the time. So if you only have a loss after 10,000 hands 14% of the time, I'm not sure how you can be in a 10,000 hand downswing 27% of the time. Maybe it's just because it's using like different tools. The first one was from like our simulation. The next one is from a different simulation, but that seems kind of strange to me. Maybe somebody can explain that to me in the comments, why that could be the case. But the moral of the story is things look really crazy when you actually look at them. As far as that goes. So that's why I don't really like answering the question, are you up or down? How much did you make, etc. Just not all that useful. So we're actually already at 25 minutes. Had a couple hands. I apologize. We had a couple hands that we sat out for. So I'll try to do a 30-minute video today. And we'll talk through some hands. And I'll upload this a little bit later. Let me see how long our session is today. Yeah, we're actually almost at like 2.5 hours. So I'm going to try to bust out like a 3-hour session today. See if we can do that. And maybe do another 3-hour session this afternoon if I don't drive. I probably should drive. But yeah. So that's sort of what I want to do is start just putting in some longer grinding sessions so that I can really start to get some results and see where I'm at, and use those large database samples to do some leak finding on myself and find areas where I can squeeze out more profit. Because even though I feel very confident, even though I'm typically having good sessions where I win money, there's just so many areas that I know I can improve, especially against the Ignition player pool. And having a large database sample is really the only way to do that, to really find ways that you can maximize your profit versus the pool. Something I'd like to do in the future is not an original idea, but is to put out like a premium video series on some different limits, like put out a series that is specifically focused on Ignition Poker 50 no limit. But obviously to do that, I have to have a lot of hands and crush 50 no limit. I have to be that 10 plus BB per 100 winner over 100,000 hands to even come close to being able to be like, look, I figured this out. This is how you crush this limit. This is what you do. These are the tools you need. And, give a real multi-video premium series on how to, crush a certain stake. And then, potentially do the same thing at 100 no limit and on up. But to do that kind of stuff, you need the volume, you need to put in the study, you need to, look through the database and find all of the little spots where you can maximize your winnings. And as much as like playing super focused and playing short focus sessions is good for your game, I also think learning how to grind it out and get those large samples is also important. So I hope you guys are enjoying all these Ignition videos. I've been trying to put one out a day. I haven't heard any real other suggestions for format or anything like that. So just been kind of doing it this way, and I think that works fairly well. I did get a request to do a leak finder video, so somebody did send me one, so I'll probably try and go ahead and try to do that this weekend or maybe even today. Because I would like to keep doing leak finder videos. I would love to potentially get paid to do some leak finder videos. So if you guys want to, offer that up, I'll definitely be very, very quick to respond to that offer. But in the meantime, I'll probably do a few here and there for free as requested. Also, if anybody's interested in like one-on-one coaching or anything like that, definitely let me know. I've sort of decided that, I'm open and available for doing that now. Just not gonna like push it too much or advertise it. In the past, I've gotten requests to do it, and I've said no often in the past. And at this point, I actually feel a lot more confident, and I feel better about being able to help out some low-stakes players with their game.